So I've started to play Armored Core every week, and you probably see some of my content videos that I have been starting on my Twitch or whatever. And honestly, this game is great, but instead of just saying all together, because I technically haven't beaten the game yet, so I don't think I have a right to say, how amazing this game is overall. But what I could do is break it down by chapters. So if you haven't liked and subscribed already before, it does help with the channel, and honestly we're almost at the 4,000 watch hours, so that's really exciting as a YouTube content creator who's only done this for like, I don't know, a year now. So I'm very excited to go through that YouTube partner push. Really excited, so thank you so much for all the support. You've been watching all my videos. So we're gonna get into chapter 1 of Armored Core. The great thing about it is just a quick little overview of what's going on is that you start out as a mercenary, a nameless one actually, I guess 621 to be exact. You basically start off the missions very slowly, and what I really like about this game is that it really takes you step by step on the gameplay, on how to play and how to lock in. So the tutorial is actually really nice, but it gives you enough action where you're engaged, and that's the biggest thing I think for most games when they do like tutorials. It's pretty boring, and again, like, you kind of fall asleep most of the time. But with Armored Core, everything is always super action packed, and there is so much going on, but it's not overwhelming where like you don't know what's going on, and it gives you so much mega action. Like, it's so good, and honestly I wish Gundam can take some notes on this, because the style of gameplay that From Software provides, it is so much fun, and like, you feel like you're actually piloting a mech, and that's really important because some games out there, when you're mech games, like, it doesn't even feel like you're piloting anything, and this game actually feels like you are in the suit and you are slicing, you're shooting, and you feel like you're actually fighting, and yeah, it's really cool. So when you go through this tutorial, you're doing like basic missions just to kind of warm you up, right? And the cool thing is that you do fight a helicopter later, which is like basically the tutorial boss, and the tutorial boss gives you an idea what is going on, in terms of like, what are you expecting, what are you fighting, and it is kind of annoying. I'll be honest, the boss is annoying. I'd say it took me like a few tries to really just beat him, because he was kind of annoying at first. The one thing I didn't like is that he was able to go out of bounds, and that was really annoying to me, because what kind of boss goes out of bounds? It doesn't really make sense for any kind of like, Armored Core or any boss really. It's like, imagine like you're just fighting Bowser, but he just retreats to the outside and just waits for you to recover something. I'm like, what the heck are you doing, bro? So it doesn't really make sense to me. So overall though, it's still a fun boss, and it kind of gives you a little warm up of what's to come, because it does get crazier in terms of boss fights. Like, it's literally just the tip of the iceberg. Again, the gameplay is great. There's a lot of like shield breaking, similar to Sekiro. If you ever play Sekiro, whatever you want to call it. There's a lot of shield breaking, is great, and there's so many customizations, and like again, as mentioned, like, each boss has their own way of beating it, and as you proceed the game after you beat the helicopter, it gives you more missions. And that's the one thing I really like about this game. It's not an open world game, and a lot of people get confused because of the From Software game, like, oh, it has to be open world, it has to be this, and it's so different from Souls games and Armored Core. And honestly, you can't really compare the two, which one's better, because either way, they have their styles, and it works either way. So again, it's it's really different. And again, fighting Baltius took me like 30 tries to beat him, actually, until I figured out actually how to use the setup that I used. And yeah, it worked for, it definitely worked for sure, but the frustration was there in trying to beat him. And you know what I've learned though, even though I felt frustrated, I felt there was pain, but you know what? It felt good trying to find ways to beat him, figuring out the right setup, and the end of it after beating him, oh my god, it felt so good. And that's the beauty of these games for Armored Core, is that so far it's so satisfying beating bosses, and it felt really good being the Baltius. And if you want to know my setup, I basically became straight up tank with like it's like 2 rifles and 2 laser cannons. So I guess in a way it's kind of cheating, or cheesing, I guess you want to be exact. But honestly, it was great. I really liked fighting him. It felt amazing beating him. But again, like I said, it gets crazier, and I can't wait to go in that video pretty soon. So stay tuned for that video. And if you like this video, make sure you like, subscribe below, and if you have commented, that also helps with the channel. Again, thank you for your support, and see you guys next video. Bye.
Hey, I was watching that.